All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. I'm Tim Mutschlechner, the cello instructor with CEC Suzuki program, and welcome everyone here. Excited to have you joining us. We're going to start off tonight with demonstrating what the first year students have been doing, but I wanted to give a welcome to parents, grandparents, and the CEC students and siblings, and of course the staff as well as your principal. So thanks so much for joining us. So what has the first year students been doing? You know, what they've been doing this year is getting ready for their real instruments by using these pre-cellos and pre-basses, right? So we've been working a lot on playing posture, working on our bow holds and bowing techniques, right? The pre-instruments were designed so they have a groove in the bridge so students can learn how to be able to play with a straight bow, and they've been getting really good at that. And they've been learning about directions like down bow, up bow, as well as working on music reading skills, learning how to read notes, reading bass clef, and figuring out some basic rhythms as well. The students have gotten very comfortable with the rhythms that are used in the twinkle variations, which is one of the first things that we'll do with our real instruments. So we'll be demonstrating those twinkle rhythms. So first year students, kind of be ready with your instruments because we're going to be kind of working through those rhythms a little bit to show the parents what we've been doing. So I think they've really got a good grasp of the rhythms for the twinkle variations at this point. So we've also been preparing for the real instruments by talking about the care of the instruments, how to treat them so they're not going to be broken, and basic things like how you set them down, how you pick them up, loosening the hair when you're not playing it, things like that. And we've gotten really familiar with the parts of the instrument as well. Along with this, students have been listening to the recordings, so they've been listening to pieces coming up in the Suzuki repertoire, so they're familiar with French folk song, Lightly Row, Go Tell Aunt Rhody, all the pieces that they'll be playing very soon. So first year students, let's start off by demonstrating our bow with the instrument. If we can stand up and have a good grip on your instrument. And practicing our bow, 3, 2, 1. Very nice, good. Go ahead and have a seat. And cello players, make sure you've got your knees working around your instrument. Bass players kind of resting on your side. Let's do a quick test, cellos, if you can have your wings out. See if you can move with the instrument a little bit. You've got good control of it like that. Excellent, yeah. Good, we've had a few little disasters with this game, but most people are hanging on pretty well with their knees. That looks good. So that's one thing that we figured out. We worked a lot this year on our bow hold, starting off with something we call the bunny bow hold. Let's everyone kind of demonstrate that if you don't mind. So we start off with our bunny rabbit ears, and we kind of drop that down over the frog, drop those ears, curved first finger, pinky coming down, and then the most important, bumpy thumb, right? So everyone kind of hold that up to the screen so people can see your beautiful bow holds, huh? We've had some great bow holds, yeah. And people are showing off their curved thumbs. One game that we've been doing is a game called Up Like a Rocket. Let's see if we can all do that together. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, up like a rocket. Down like the rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train, round in the air like a great big sun, and up on your nose, straight pinky, curved thumb. Still bumpy, right? We've done windshield wipers to see if we can do these motions and still have a good bow hold. See if the thumb stays bent. And we've done some tapping finger games. Tapping 1, seeing if we can take off 1, tap that. Then we try to take off 2. Tap that, taking off 3, tapping that, and then pinky. And then we don't take off the thumb, but we practice wiggling it, don't we? Yeah, that's the idea. So we've had some excellent bow holds developed here. And that's going to transfer really well to the real bow when we switch over to that, right? So let's get into the instrument a little bit. One of the things we've been working on is bow control, and we've been doing that by something called a helicopter landing. So I'm going to move my screen so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Doing a slow vertical landing straight down to the bridge. And students have been practicing this, doing a slow control landing that way. And then we practice it out at the middle. And then we've been trying to practice it at the tip, landing right in that bow groove. And then we moved on to something called airplane landings, where we start on the runway and we do a nice takeoff and circle right over the airport like this. Ready, go. 1, 2, circle and back. 1, 2, circle, back. Circle, back. Getting good at that, and the instruments are designed so they're learning how to play with a really straight bow going straight across the instrument. We've talked about down bows, which is what we're doing right now, and then students have been practicing up bow circles too, which is even trickier. Let's try some up bow circles, guys. Setting right in the groove. This is going to transfer really well to the real instrument. We've done something called rock and roll, which is getting used to the motion of changing strings. So we start down here and we rock in that groove all the way to the A and back down to the C. Or if we're on the bass, we're rocking from the G string all the way down to the E string. Getting used to that motion. We call that rock and roll. Getting used to that motion. Yeah. And then we've had fun figuring out ways to learn the names of the strings. So cello players have been doing this game, our song that we call the Ants song, right? I think you guys know this pretty well, but let's just try it. If you can kind of pretend to be plucking and you can yell out the words. Remember the Ants song? It goes, ready, go. Ants, 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 digging in the dirt, way down in the ground, all the way to China, right? So that's our A, D, G, and C string. So we've been kind of getting to know those strings by doing that song. I'm just letting a couple more people join us here real quick. All right, I think that's everyone there. For basses, we had some discussion on the best way to memorize the strings for the bass, and we came up with a really clever way to remember the names of the strings. Braden, can you explain how we're remembering the names of the strings on bass?
We remember the name by making a sentence like Great Danes are enormous.
Isn't that great? Great Danes are enormous. G, D, A, and E. That's brilliant. So that's a keeper. Yeah. Braden's been very helpful with some of these things. He came up with a great name for the first twinkle variation. Do you want to tell him what that is, Braden? The ta.
Harry Potter goes to Hogwarts.
Harry Potter goes to Hogwarts. Actually, I think that's the variation D. Yeah, Harry Potter goes to Hogwarts. I said the variation A, but that's right. Anyway, that's another keeper. Harry Potter goes to Hogwarts for that rhythm, right? Yeah, brilliant. So speaking of twinkle rhythms, let's kind of show what we've been doing with that. So we've been kind of getting used to being able to set our bow near the frog, and let's go ahead and do that, cellos and bass players, and learning how to play pretty short little notes and stop on certain notes like T, 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 ta, ta. Ready, go. Working on that rhythm. And what's cool is that you can actually hear the rhythm when they play them on these pre-instruments. It makes enough friction that you can hear if they're doing that rhythm correctly. And they're doing really well with those rhythms. So we worked on that rhythm, and then we moved on to a rhythm called ice cream cone, which is a tricky one because you have to stop and wait. Let's see if we can demonstrate that, guys. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Because of the time problems associated with Zoom, we can't all do that together with everyone playing at the same time, unfortunately. But when we're back in person, it's going to be wonderful to hear everyone doing that variation at the same time. Then we moved on to a rhythm that we call Jack Rabbits Eat Carrots. Tricky one because you have to really be able to stop your bow, right? Like this. Let's show them what that sounds like, guys. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. All this with still maintaining that beautiful bow hole. Then we went into a smooth one that we call strawberry blueberry, and it kind of sounds like this. Learning how to play with a smooth bow. Let's try some of that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Looks good. Looks really good, Harrison. You got that one down beautifully. And then finally we get to Harry Potter Goes to Hogwarts, or what I like to call it, Wish I Had a Motorcycle. Very short little bows working on real control here. Here we go, guys. Let's start together. 1, 2, ready, go. Right. We've been talking about Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and how there are different sections of it. So we've been talking about a twinkle sandwich with bread, peanut butter, jelly, bread, figuring out the form of that piece. So that's the final thing that we've been kind of working on is twinkle theme, otherwise known as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Let's show them that, guys. Ready? 1, 2, long bows. Looking really good. Along with working on all these rhythms and preparation for Twinkle, we've been working on note reading skills, getting to know this thing. We've spent a lot of time getting to know the staff and this funny little symbol here that people know as bass clef, learning about the lines and spaces over the last few weeks. We've also been working on rhythms, and these guys are getting really good at being able to answer these questions. Right? How many beats? So we look at a note, and someone can tell me what kind of note that is.
Quarter note.
Quarter note. How many beats does it get?
1.
What is this? Someone else.
Whole note.
Try again. It's got a stem. How about half note, right? How many beats? Here comes
2.
Yes, good. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing we've been working on. There's the whole note, guys, right? Like a whole pizza pie. How many beats for a whole note?
4.
Yeah. What about this strange little character down here? What is that?
8.
8 note.
How many? What does it get?
Half beat.
Half a beat. Really good. So we've been working on our rhythms quite a bit. Let me just let a couple more folks in here real quick. And we'll, at this point, I want to move into year 2 students. But before I do that, I just wanted to give you guys a sort of holiday greeting from me, and looking forward to working with all these students next semester. You guys know the words to "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." So if you want to join with me, we'll try that. Starting on this note, ready? 1, 2, go. All right. So I'm going to move working with the book year 2 students. So go ahead and mute if you're not muted, and we're going to do some demonstrating of what the year 2 students have been up to. So most of what we've been doing is broadening the skills that we already worked on last year, developing more bow control, developing better intonation, staying in tune on the tapes, and learning new pieces. So we're going to be demonstrating some of those pieces tonight. We've also been working a lot more on note reading and rhythms, and being able to look at a rhythm and play that or say it, and they're doing really well with that as well. All that is kind of a preparation for orchestra. So when we're back in person, the goal with all this is to be able to have everyone together in orchestra, violins, violas, cellos, basses, playing together, which is going to be really, really cool. So that's kind of where we're going with that. But the note reading is really come a long way, and I think that's going to make playing an orchestra a whole lot easier. So I've got some solos today to kind of demonstrate what we've been doing. I want to start right now, if Oliver is there, if Oliver can unmute. Oliver's been working on bass song. He's a year 2 bass student. And so everyone take a listen to May Song on bass. Nice job. Thank you, Oliver. Yeah. Been really fun to work with Oliver on bass. You can see that bass involves large distances. A song like that for violin, you'd be staying in one position, or in cello, one position. Bass, right away, Oliver's having to shift into higher positions to play those notes. So we've been exploring going up to 4th position and so forth. Let's go on and hear some other tunes. I'm just looking to see if Wyatt is here. Wyatt, would you be up for playing some Lightly Row for us?
Sure.
All right, so this is Lightly Row and Wyatt. Thank you, Wyatt. Nice work on that. We've got Lucy Rogers, who's been working on Go Tell Aunt Rhody. And if she wants to show us the ropes on that, that'd be great. If you want to unmute for us. Looking for Lucy. Gosh, there's so many. Yeah, Lucy, I don't see your video up. There she comes. Hi. She says, one moment here. So people are in different pieces and in different levels, and that's okay. The nice thing about doing these paired lessons is that we can really customize what we're doing for each student and where they're at with their playing. So everyone's made progress with that. All right. So this is Go Tell Aunt Rhody with Lucy. Nice job. Thank you, Lucy. So moving on, I think I saw Izzy earlier. Izzy, do you have your video up? Here she comes. Hi, so this is Izzy. Izzy's been a fun student to work with. She's got a great kind of spirit about working and going at it. She doesn't let her smaller size get in the way of playing bass, and has been doing really well. So Izzy, do you have your bass there where you could show us a little bit of Twinkle Theme? And just go ahead and unmute here for us. There we go.
Hi.
Hi. So here's Izzy doing what we call Twinkle Theme. That's all right. That's all right. That was a really good first section of that. And Izzy's been working a lot on the fact that she has a smaller hand, being able to reach those fours. And hey, Izzy, your four sounded great tonight, by the way. Excellent work. So yeah, the cello players have a piece that they kind of all love. It's called French Folk Song. And we've got Bennett, who's going to demonstrate a little bit of French folk song. Right, yeah, take your time. Right. Yeah. Thanks, Bennett. Yeah, that was good. So Bennett's worked really hard on that. In a lot of ways, I think he earns the prize for the most improved. He's really done great work on getting his hand in tune and getting confident. But that's a good example of the problems inherent with online teaching with a platform like Zoom. I feel like we're all extras in the movie Frozen, right? We all get frozen periodically. So it's frustrating, but we do the best we can with technical problems. Good. We have another May song, this time on cello. Brody's been working on May song, if he's there. There he is. So if you could unmute for us and show us, yeah, hi. May song on cello.
Hello.
Good evening. I think you might be doing the repeat, sorry. There we go. Yeah, good, good. I wish you could hear him when we don't have problems technically, because he's really sounding good on that and other pieces as well. So I see Lucy. I don't know if Reed is there. Lucy, is your brother around? There he is. Yeah. So this is Reed Rogers, and Reed's been working really hard on a piece called Allegro. So we're going to finish our demonstrations of the cello performers and bass performers with Reed doing Allegro. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Good work. It's a work in progress for all of us. The way we learn is by making mistakes and then figuring out how to fix those mistakes, and that's the learning process. So everyone's been doing great with new pieces and progressing. That's kind of our demonstration as far as what we've done this year with year 2 students. It's been fun. I'm impressed with how their reading skills are developing and their rhythm skills. So I'm just itching to be able to get back in person so we can be back in an ensemble playing together. I miss doing duets, which is very hard to do with this format as well. But everyone's hanging in there really well, and it's been a good year. I'm going to finish by just playing a tune that we all know, I think, and if you want to sing along, you're welcome to. This is Deck the Halls. So it's my kind of Christmas for you guys. So here's Deck the Halls. Ready? Merry Christmas, everyone, and thanks for joining. We still have class next week, so don't disappear. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Take care, everyone. Thanks for participating.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Mr. M,
Yes.
just so you know, I'm actually in person now.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Okay. Yeah. So you'll be doing this in person. That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
Goodbye, everyone.